was yakking away yesterday.
Yeah.
So I haven't done a lot of this to camera stuff. Should
Right.
I talk to you or
Whichever you want, it doesn't matter.
it feels weird talking to camera.
I actually was really surprised yesterday when I was talking to one of the teams and the guy just looked straight down the barrel.
Straight
And
down
I
the
just
barrel.
went, wow, he's comfortable. He's
Yeah.
done this before.
Yeah.
Everybody else just looks, if you want to be consistent, look to me.
Just look at you.
Yes. Okay, so we're talking with Matt from ThoughtWorks.
Mike.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So we're talking with Mike from ThoughtWorks. And how are you finding the hackathon here?
It's been good. I've really enjoyed it, and talking at the front end was quite good in that my side of it is more design than technical. So hackathon is traditionally a technical thing, but getting the design right and the validations of some of the customer hypotheses is important. And so talking at the beginning was actually the right time for that. And now I've been roaming around and enjoying talking with the teams. A lot of good ideas actually.
And teams really taking advantage of your presence here, or are they kind of so head down in what they're doing that they don't even see you walking past?
We thought that we'd get a bit of the old, we're busy, off you go, mate. But actually, they're taking the time and having a conversation. I think it's a bit of a sounding board. So I'm more design. I've got a technical part with me as well. So we're both looking at problems and just seeing if we can add a bit of a devil's advocate approach and ferret out some of those little problems or other visions that haven't been sort of already noted. And that's been good. They've been really interested in doing that. A couple of the teams yesterday morning in the earlier stage, it was afternoon by the time we got going, we're interested in doing a little co-design session, so we did some sketches and then reiterated on that, and that's an exciting part of what we normally do, and to fit it into the two-day session was good.
Right.
So we did 3 or 4 teams where they did that.
I guess in any effort, whether it's a short constrained time frame or a long one, you really want to be focusing on the main issues. But I guess when there's a time pressure, it's even more critical. Are you finding that people are kind of like putting their effort and thought into the right things, or are they getting bogged down in?
Yeah. So there's 3 key things in this environment that I think they need to be looking at. They need working software or really close to it. And I'm saying, fake it a little bit if you need to in some of the critical parts. And for me, that's fine. I think the ethos of a hackathon of others might not agree with that. But that's certainly my view, so that it can give you the other part, which is to deal with the business and user value proposition. So that's the most important part. That's what you'll sell, and that's where you'll get value from essentially being able to give to your investors. And those are the guys who are going to give green light to a project, or money if you're in a seed fund. This sort of intrapreneurship, it's about getting green light and resources. The other thing is that some of them are doing a great job at dealing with early or thinking about and giving themselves time is a presentation. So they need to then present back to the business on the business issues rather than technical issues, even though it's all about tech.
You preempted my next question, which is great, because looking at the clock, there's about 3.5 hours to go. I would imagine that the pitch is now starting to loom in their minds.
I think for some of them it's probably looming behind the looming technical problems, because some of them haven't dealt with some major issues, and they're going to be screaming right up to the deadline.
Right.
There are others who are just sort of sitting back and spending 3 hours on their presentation, and that's great.
Right.
One of the guys had a presentation ready yesterday, so I don't know whether they've gone presentation tech idea in that order. I don't know.
Right. And have you seen any evolution of ideas, like from what they were beginning with at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon to what they're working on now? Have you seen any changes?
A few little changes. One we were integral on, where we had 2 screens in play, and we kind of came up with something that brought those into one screen. And for the user, that's so important. But I haven't been back to all the groups. We've been trying to, it's more practical that I haven't been back.
Right.
Spending a lot of time with as many groups as I can.
Yeah, the talk you gave yesterday, you were talking about a sort of a multiplying factor of...
Yeah.
Have you seen that come into play at all?
Yeah, so in the groups that we did the iterative design sketching, we did that. And so we pushed on some, just do 10 more. Do 10, so the X10 idea is about coming up with divergent thinking, whether it's in the design phase or the development phase, more ways to do the same, and then evaluating and rationalising down. So in the sketching, I said, guys, just push it harder, do 10 more. They didn't do 10, but they did more than they would have done. That's the point. And so on scale as well, one of the other projects was about tracking your financial spending behaviour. So that was more, the X10 X10 came into looking at different ways that you can look at scale and granularity of the information. So I'll be looking at over a day, a week, emotional issues, what are the different contributing factors. So X10 is really just a catalyst to think about, force yourself to think about different angles.
Yep.
Yeah, and it has been useful. I admit I have had to prompt some of them and try to get them to use it.
Yeah.
Because in this environment, I think they're thinking just write code and get a sale and don't, like, this guy came with the ideas and that's great, but I think they'll from the experience maybe take it away.
Right. I asked before if they were so busy focusing on their screens they told you to go away, but have you been sort of butting in, or have they actually been? Has anybody been seeking you out?
Combination. Well, the seek outs have been post butt in. So
Right.
we've turned up, but they've been very receptive, had a good little conversation, and then some of them have sought us out again later. Oh, we've got this problem, what do you think?
Right.
Here's a UI issue, etc., technical problem. So it's been really good. We've had a really good reception being here as sort of outsiders.
Yeah.
And,
Do you think before the first butt-in, people think we have to solve this on our own, or that they're just so caught up in the problem that they're unaware that they're a resource? Like,
yeah.
do you fail to take advantage of a resource because of focus, or because of, I don't know, sort of the wrong mindset that we have to do this alone?
I think we have to do it alone is kind of a byproduct of the time constraints. So you just become so focused, and it's not a consideration. It's not ignorance of the resource, and it's not that you feel like you have to do it alone. It's just, I want to get down into it, and the extra administrative time of going to see someone or seeking out resources is probably the thing that's
Right.
blocking the ones that haven't reached it.
And do you see 40 separate islands out there? Are teams aware of the fact that there are other teams, and maybe one of those teams has the knowledge that they desperately need right now?
Yeah, same problem. I think they're aware that other teams are there, and even some of the teams are doing similar ideas. I don't know whether that's worse. You wouldn't reach out to that person necessarily, because ideas and
So
the IP at a micro level.
yeah, so there's collaboration and competition. Do you think the emphasis is on competition rather than
Definitely,
collaboration?
definitely. Collaboration is a nice idea. Everyone's very good and amicable. It's such a good environment and friendly. And it's the geek sort of ethos, even if there is competition. But there is competition more than collaboration, I think.
Yep. Any tweaks you'd suggest for next time?
Maybe come in with your ideas validated. So what I was talking about is some of the things we use to validate design can be moved back into process a bit earlier to validate a customer hypothesis. So I'd say if you want to get out a prototype in these 2 days, validate your customer hypothesis earlier. That way you come in knowing that, fine, the problem's right, we just need to solve it, rather than we've got kind of an idea and kind of a problem, not sure which one we're solving here and whether both or either are right. So you get a bit tighter and a bit closer to a commercially viable product.
Excellent. Thank you. Anything you want to add?
No, that's it. I think I've managed to cram in. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for your time.